Now, it has been 8 years since the Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 disappeared. The flight had 239 passengers on board. There have been many theories and questions raised regarding the mystery of the missing flight, and 8 years later, the story continues to unfold. A new evidence now suggests that the aircraft could have been deliberately downed by its pilot.
Carrying 227 passengers.
Tell the media.
My daughter asked me, "Where is Papa?" It's just so unimaginable.
I felt completely shattered. I lived in denial.
Kept the landing gear door at the home for 5 years and were not aware of the significance of the same. Now, the fisherman's wife also used the door as washing board.
Theories about the missing plane are going viral.
It's possible it was hijacked. We don't know.
This very mysterious and very suspicious cargo.
Simulator was removed by police.
I have the real evidence. It's there, and you can't deny that.
The enigmatic vanishing of flight MH370 continues to provoke intrigue and speculation. Theories abound, ranging from the involvement of esteemed scientists to unexpected fires on board and suspicious dial tones. In this video, we are going to discuss what theories have been suggested to explain the mystery of flight MH370 and what recent discovery they have made that finally reveals what happened with flight MH370. So let's get started. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 made headlines as it mysteriously disappeared. The aircraft, a Boeing 777, carried 227 passengers and 12 crew members, seemingly vanishing without a trace. Initially, the most plausible explanation was that the plane had crashed into the vast ocean. However, as time went on, numerous alternative theories emerged, shrouding the incident in further mystery. Despite the passing of more than a decade since the tragic events of September 11, 2001, some conjectured that the disappearance of MH370 was linked to acts of terrorism. One such theory gained attention through outlets like the Daily Telegraph, which highlighted the testimony of an informant associated with Al-Qaeda. This informant claimed in court that a Malaysian-based group of terrorists had planned to commandeer a commercial aircraft using an improvised explosive device. Adding to the intrigue, investigators revealed that the plane's communication systems had seemingly been intentionally deactivated just days after it went missing. This led to air traffic control losing contact with the aircraft, suggesting the possibility of a hijacking scenario, as argued by some. Notably, media tycoon Rupert Murdoch, owner of Fox News, expressed support for the notion that Al-Qaeda had taken control of MH370. Taking to Twitter, he suggested, without substantiation, that the plane might not have crashed but instead had been stolen and concealed in Pakistan. This statement raised eyebrows within the news community. Al-Qaeda was not the sole entity accused of involvement in the disappearance of MH370. Various news sources and online commentators speculated about North Korea's potential role in the incident. Although this idea originated on social media and initially faced skepticism, it gained traction in tabloids, partly due to an eTurba News editorial. The piece claimed to possess insider information from an aviation industry professional who proposed that the plane had been hijacked at the behest of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Allegedly, this was an attempt to acquire advanced technology on board the Boeing 777 that was not readily available in the country at the time. Given North Korea's history of hijacking a Korean passenger plane in 1969, some tabloids drew parallels between the two incidents. Amidst the rush to identify those responsible for the vanishing of MH370, certain cyber sleuths pointed fingers at the United States. In July 2015, news emerged that a debris fragment, potentially from the missing plane, had washed up on La Réunion, an island in the Indian Ocean under French control. By then, numerous conspiracy theories were already circulating regarding the plane's fate. One Twitter user posed the question of when conspiracy theorists would begin connecting Diego Garcia, a British territory housing a U.S. naval base, to the location of Reunion Island. Diego Garcia, being near the suspected area where MH370 disappeared, became the focus of theories, suggesting that the United States intercepted and diverted the plane to the base for unknown reasons. Another unverified rumor suggested that the American military had shot down the aircraft. Despite the plane appearing on radars not far from Diego Garcia, U.S. officials swiftly dismissed any possibility of its landing at the military base. A compelling narrative surrounding the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 suggested a sinister plot orchestrated by corporate interests, solely driven by profit. According to a report by Reuters, the flight carried a group of 20 engineers and scientists from Freescale Semiconductor, a chip-making company based in San Francisco. These individuals were highly regarded experts in electronics, and their loss was deemed significant for the company. Speculation arose, fueled by conspiracy-minded internet users, that these passengers held a valuable patent related to chip making. The theory suggested that the plane was intentionally brought down to allow others connected to the company to gain control over the intellectual assets. However, it is important to note that these claims have been widely discredited. As the investigation progressed, various governments and groups faced accusations of involvement in the plane's disappearance. One obscure group, the Chinese Martyrs Brigade, even claimed responsibility, sending an email to journalists threatening retaliation. However, the authenticity of this group and its connection to the incident remains dubious, with suspicions that it was a hoax propagated during political tensions between the Chinese authorities and separatists in the Uyghur Autonomous Region. The anguish experienced by the families of the passengers on MH370 was extensively covered in the media. Amidst the grief, a story emerged from some of the families suggesting a cover-up and offering a glimmer of hope. 19 families reported that they heard a dial tone when attempting to call the cell phones of their missing loved ones, indicating that the phones were intact and turned on. This led to the belief that the plane had not crashed. However, subsequent analysis dismissed this notion, explaining that a dial tone does not necessarily mean a connection to the phone, but rather signifies the network searching for it. The dial tone provided no substantial insight into the fate of the passengers. Experts in the aviation industry, like Chris Goodfellow, a former pilot with extensive experience, shared their theories on the incident. Goodfellow suggested that MH370 may have suffered an onboard incident, such as an electrical or landing gear fire, which forced the experienced pilot to attempt an emergency landing. He offered insights into the unexpected trajectory of the plane, arguing that the pilot was trying to reach a nearby airport. This theory gained attention and was widely circulated. Amidst the ongoing search for answers, British writer Nigel Cawthorne rushed to release a book titled Flight MH370, The Mystery, just 2 months after the disappearance. Cawthorne claimed that MH370 had been accidentally shot down by the United States Air Force during training exercises, accusing governments worldwide of a cover-up. However, this book was widely discredited upon release, labeled as cynical and baseless in its assertions. Malaysian authorities maintained that there was no evidence supporting the claim that MH370 had been shot down. Alternative theories also emerged, suggesting external factors like a cyber attack might have brought down the plane. Former security experts proposed the possibility that MH370's communication systems were disengaged by a cyber attack triggered by a regular cell phone. However, thorough investigations concluded that the communication systems in Boeing 777 planes would be extremely challenging to override, and Boeing itself dismissed the cyber attack theory as speculative. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, the pilot of MH370, became a subject of suspicion among online commentators soon after the plane's disappearance. Allegedly, authorities suspected that Shah intentionally crashed the plane, leading to the deaths of all on board. Although no solid evidence has been found to support these claims, they gained prominence over time. A group of experts assembled by 60 Minutes even suggested that Shah's actions aligned with someone seeking to make the plane disappear from radar. However, the possibility of his involvement remains unproven, and investigations are ongoing. In 2015, a group of academics put forth a theory explaining why recovery efforts. One particular narrative surrounding the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 suggested a sinister plot driven by corporate interests solely for profit. The flight carried a group of engineers and scientists from Freescale Semiconductor, a chip-making company based in San Francisco. Their expertise was highly valued, and it was speculated that their presence on the plane was related to a valuable patent in chip making. The theory proposed that the plane was deliberately brought down to enable others to gain control of the intellectual assets. However, these claims have been widely discredited. Accusations were leveled at various governments and groups regarding their involvement in the plane's disappearance. An obscure group called the Chinese Martyrs Brigade even claimed responsibility by sending a threatening email to journalists. However, the authenticity of this group and its connection to the incident remains questionable, with suspicions that it was a hoax during a period of political tensions. The families of the passengers on MH370 suffered greatly, and amidst their grief, a story emerged suggesting a cover-up and providing a glimmer of hope. 19 families reported hearing a dial tone when attempting to call the cell phones of their missing loved ones, indicating that the phones were intact and turned on. This led to the belief that the plane had not crashed. However, further analysis dismissed this notion, explaining that a dial tone does not indicate a connection, but rather signifies the network searching for the phone. Ultimately, the dial tone provided no substantial insight into the passengers. So what do you believe happened to flight MH370? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.